Okay, let's do some milestones. Number 1, everyone is prayed for by name every day. Number 2, everyone has a mission. Number 3, yes, Aju, Ogmanse. Wow, my name is in the center there. Okay. Yes, I am me, Milhan Stevens. My topic today is called Holding the Center. Holding the center. With the heart of a parent. Okay. Do you see what's behind this text here? A chessboard. Okay, there's a chessboard behind there. For those of us who are joining in Morning Delight, you've probably heard me mention more than once that I'm playing chess these days. I do want to start a chess club in Harlem. That's one of my plans. So what better way than to play the game myself and fall in love with it? And what I've been saying is I feel like I'm playing chess with Satan. Okay? Satan is my opponent, and he's got better pieces than me, but I got lots of pawns that are just coming in, and they're turning into queens, and it's starting to, as we keep going, then I know more of us are going to show up. Each of us is a queen piece, or I guess a knight. You have different types of pieces, you know. So that's what I want to focus on today. And the reason for the takeaway I'm getting from chess is building strategy. Anyone heard the expression? I'm sure we all have. The devil's in the details. Everyone heard that before? Okay. Well, there's a reason why Satan lives in the details. Because if your strategy isn't foolproof, isn't as perfect as it can be, then it's just a perfect opening for Satan to just divide and conquer. That's his basic strategy, is he divides us and conquers us. But if we have a sound strategy, a clear message, and a clear direction, and everyone's clear what their role is in this giant puzzle, then there's no space for Satan to invade. So my point today I want to say is we need a more effective strategy for our ministry, which is why we're setting up these committees now. I want to make it so there's no excuse. This last year, you could make the excuse, Pastor Milhan, I didn't know what to do. But this year, no excuse. There's plenty of space. There's plenty of opportunity to get involved. So my main strategy I want to focus on is holding the center. Has anyone here somewhat of an advanced or intermediate chess player? Wilson. Wilson plays chess. We got to talk. Okay. But do you know one of the main opening strategies in chess? I took a little tutorial, which is just a sequence of videos. But the first lesson they teach you got to hold that center. If you lose the center, you will absolutely lose the game. Why? Because the center is where you have the most opportunities, the most options. If you got your pieces stuck in the corner, it's stuck. Nothing's happening there. All the action's happening in the middle. And that's why a common move is to move your pawns out in the center right immediately. In fact, this is a book move they call like a king's pawn. And so this is what I want to talk about. What does it mean to be in the center? It means to be the bigger man, so to speak. Be the most loving, unconditional, unchanging person in the room or in whatever you do. Be the most prepared. Be number one, as True Father would always say. Be number one. And it's not just number one for the sake of being arrogant to just stand on a pedestal, but no, to put the most heart into it. And there's no greater heart than the heart of a parent. This is from the Mother of Peace. Her mother said, without parents, there can be no harmony in the family. This is because parents are the center and the origin of the family. Likewise, without you, the parent of humankind, there can be no true peace in this world. parents are the center. Parents are in the center not because they just took it. I mean, it's because they're the most serving. They have the biggest heart, and they're the ones that, if you want to keep things in order, are in the center. Now, if you have children who don't respect the parents and don't listen to them, then things get chaotic. Again, because the parents are the center. Now, what does it mean to be a parent? Okay, because I know we're not necessarily parents of everyone we meet. Maybe we're in a work meeting, and those aren't your children. However, it's really the heart of service and the heart of the highest love, but the most humble in serving, even at the lowest level. So like in Luke, in chapter 20, verse 26, 27, the greatest among you should be like the youngest, and the one who rules like the one who serves. For who is greater, the one who is at the table or the one who serves? Is it not the one who is at the table? Maybe. But I am among you as one who serves. So assuming that Jesus is the Messiah and the parent of all humanity, what is he doing? He's serving, washing the feet. He's changing our proverbial diapers, washing the bags. The man? The mind, yes. Yes, brain. Sounds like brainwash. Heart wash. Jesus is washing. He's got his sponges, getting them lathered up, and he's washing. That's service. I think about serving, this is, there it is. If you're a parent, congratulations. You just achieved the peak of life. Here, take out the trash, change the diapers, literally, get 2 hours of sleep at a time, keeping this baby alive, and the crying and the crying. You get to listen to nonstop belly aching and complaints, and it was hard to get here today. Most of my family was almost not going to come because Hiroki felt a little bit sick, and it was like, so we're trying to navigate this. Okay, well, maybe it's okay. Just we'll put the heaters on upstairs. It's like, congratulations, you just reached the highest position, and this is what you get. It doesn't, and again, I always remind, is this a holy experience or not? Because is this really what God was talking about? The answer is yes. That's what we signed up for. That's what we want. We want all that chaos because we get to put it in order as parents. And in so doing, we have that love. The best example that I like to talk about today is our true Father. That wherever he is, he always holds that center, no matter what. No matter what. And there's many examples, but the one that I want to talk about is when he was in Danbury prison. It's funny, unificationists, we always love to talk about Father in prison. I'm sure a new person's like, wait, this guy was in prison? They're like, but the funny, look how happy he is, okay? The funny thing is, Father is so busy that actually when he's in prison, assuming that he's not going to be killed in prison or life-threatening, but U.S. prison is amazing. It's quite nice there. Yeah, it's kind of dirty and stuff, but in fact, Father, he's at peace in a prison because there's nothing to do but pray, clean, do like get on a regular routine, And at the same time, people are rallying your support to get you out of prison. So a lot of things are moving, even though he's just there. And this, you look at this picture, and even True Mother in her memoir references this political opinion cartoon in the New York Post. You see this picture of True Father. Again, where is he? In the center. And this is like a prison guard saying, or he's saying, I don't care if he's turning them all into Moonies, just get him out of here before he calls a mass wedding. That's what it said. So, but there's always some truth. I mean, but you know how he moved all these prison mates? He served. He took the center. I'm the parent of all humanity. So of course, these my inmates, they're his children too. So what did he do? He cleaned. Of course, give me the dirtiest job. So apparently these toilets, clean the toilets. He signed up for that right away. Apparently these were really disgusting because a lot of these people, they don't. Apparently the toilet was so smelly that people wouldn't even want to go close enough to it to do their business. So they literally start doing their business further and further away from the center of where it's supposed to go. So Father had no problem. He went right in there and just cleaned everything up. And apparently what's also disgusting was the rags. The rags, they washed things everywhere. And he volunteered to do that too, to clean all those rags thoroughly so that it will continue to do its job. And eventually, when he started to win people's hearts, he started to minister, started to do services, and so there's a lot of truth behind this cartoon here. And because you can look at this and say, well, it was so messed up. It was very upsetting that he was put in prison because it was unjust. There was some other agenda. Imagine you messed up your taxes one year, okay, and you get thrown in jail. I mean, that's not law and order. So he was targeted, and all this crazy stuff happened. Yet he kept that center. He never lost his center. I am the parent, and no matter what, I will forgive and I will continue forward loving whoever's around me. I will love and serve whoever's there. So this is just some screenshots of some of my recent planning and strategic development, which anyone who loves strategic planning, actually, who likes strategic planning? Raise your hand. Okay. All right, good. Reverend Josh, did you see those people? Okay, yeah, because I want to talk to you because I love this stuff. This is my goals and strategies for this year. This is my org chart, which I know looks a little crazy, but this is the brain, and this is the arms. There's legs down here, which I didn't show. There's my Gantt chart of how we're going to make sure we're on schedule for all of our goals this year. I put this up here because I feel like this is the heart of a parent. The parent wants to do everything they can to get things in order, make that schedule, streamline things for the children so they can get to where they need to go. And so one example I'd like to share on this, as far as the heart as a parent, is the parent will study, they will learn new things in desperation sometimes. For example, I heard this story from Reverend Thompson, actually, and I always go back to this story to show the heart of a parent. And his son was getting very sick. His fever was just climbing higher and higher, 104, 105. Just kept him higher and higher, and they took him to the doctor, and the doctor said they can't figure out what's wrong with him. It's like, and he was just returned without any diagnosis or any medication, and it's just getting higher and higher. And he was, as a parent, you're like, the doctor can apply their resources and tools, but the parent, that's not good enough. You got to do something. So they were desperate, they're frantic, they didn't know what to do. And finally, they're like, okay, well, maybe we'll, they're learning all the terminology and figuring things out. And then like, okay, well, maybe we can try a Chinese doctor. a completely different world of uh, of medicine. But they brought him there, and immediately the doctor was able to figure out what the problem was. Apparently, it was mercury poisoning. Who would know? So they were able to figure it out, and he was okay. So I don't know if any of you have had a child sick like that before, or you lost your child, and so the parent has that desperate heart to do. If I have to learn, if my child has cancer, I will learn whatever I need to learn, all the medical terms, and I'll do my research to make sure I did everything I could to save my own child. So this is the kind of heart I have for New York City, at least. I feel like there's children out there, if we just had our ducks in a row, they could be helped. And they can live their life with the blessing. And so my repentance is simply I didn't double down on my milestones hard enough. I appreciate Reverend Joshua, who his final word was, "Don't forget the milestones." Yes, thank you. Because if there's anything that's unchanging, it's going to be this. But I haven't created strategy and focus on these things so much yet. It's been kind of just out of faith. Heaven will provide and send people. Yeah, of course. The best strategy is to just be a good parent and loving. At the same time, I think in this second year, we need to get strategic. So for milestone 1, we're going to talk about these things after service today. We're going to talk about goal setting, community care, data entry and management, prayer warrior engagement, story sharing, outreach, and partnerships. I'm not going to get into these right now, but you get the idea. I'm not messing around anymore. Aunt Kathleen's texting me saying, this data is all old and it needs to be updated. I'm like, yeah, it does. And now that you see the data yourself, at least for those of you who are a prayer warrior, you realize, yeah, there is work to be done. Because if we're going to reach anyone beyond our community, we have to start with the Huron. So there's a lot of work to do there. So my conclusion is this. We're starting a new year, and I don't want to let another day go by where we're not working strategically, not focusing on the real problem and the solutions. So let's get strategic, hold the center, let's rescue the children out there, and get into action. Thank you. Please join me in prayer.